Hello guys, Greg back with another video on the channel that is all killer, no filler. So today I'm doing a video on a house that makes very classic smelling fragrances. All of the best ones from this brand were really in the 60s, 70s and 80s, and I've chosen my 6 favourites from the brand. Most of them are still in production. There's a couple that aren't. You might have to go to eBay to find them, but I will mention that as we go along. 4 of the fragrances were created by the same perfumer, master perfumer Bernard Chant. And he had quite a small portfolio of perfumes that he created, but you know, far less than today's perfumers. But all of the ones he did produce were amazing, and he was the main nose behind some of the great Estee Lauder fragrances. But all of the ones I'm going to show you today, they're superb value compared to the quality that they've got. I've got multiple bottles of all of these fragrances. I like them so much, but I've actually got new bottles of all of these just for the sake of the video today. So let's start with the original, and this one, and this is the only one in a different style bottle to all of the rest, and this is the original one, and it's simply called Aramis. And this one came out in 1966. And if, like me, you're a kid in like the 70s and 80s, this one's going to bring back some real memories. My dad used to wear this. You could buy this one in Boots, which anyone outside of the UK, it's a drug store, a chemist store. And my dad used to buy Yardley Gold, Hallmark, which was by Lon Tarek. He used to buy Rapport and Mandate. I'm sure any of you guys my age will remember all of them. But Aramis is a chypre fragrance. It's got leather, oak moss and patchouli, a little bit of soapiness to it, and a little bit of a barbershop feel, but it's a very woody, spicy and a classic 80s man type of smell. So that's the OG Aramis. So next up we have this one, and this is called Devon. Now this is another chypre. It's very woody and piney. There's lots of leather and patchouli in here, and it's got a bitter greenness to it, which I think is coming from galbanum. It's got lots of musk, and like all of the Aramis chypres in this list, there's stages of the development of this that are very aldehydic. Fragrances always conjure up images, and I always try and sort of put them in the videos, and this one makes me think of like a classically dressed gentleman sitting in a Victorian sitting room full of wooden furnishings, books, a big fireplace, sitting there with a glass of whiskey. Not saying it smells like all of them things, it's just the image that it conjures up of sort of who and where you'd smell this fragrance. But an absolutely superb one of the best, I would say. That's Devon. Next up, this is one that isn't currently in production, so I did originally buy this one from eBay and then went back and bought a few more bottles, which I tend to do, and this one is called 900, Aramis 900, and as you can see there, this one is quite a herbal composition, but it's, despite that clearly being the intention, I wouldn't personally say that herbs form the key accords in here. It's very well balanced. It's a woody, spicy floral with herbal aspects, but it's also got earthy aspects and also a lot of mossiness to it. But some of the key detectable notes that you'll pick out in here are patchouli, oak moss, civet, rose and amber. It's very well blended. But as I said, unfortunately you can't find that one very much anymore, but it is available on eBay. You just have to look around a little bit. Next one, this is probably my favourite actually from out of all of these. And this one is called JHL. Now, Estee Lauder apparently had this fragrance created specially for her husband, and his name was Joseph Harold Lauder, hence the JHL name. And it bears a striking resemblance to an Estee Lauder fragrance called Cinnabar, classic fragrance. And Joseph Lauder apparently loved this fragrance, but he felt he couldn't wear it because it was a little bit too feminine for him. So Estee Lauder set about having his own more masculine version created specially for him, and it was originally a personal fragrance, not, supposed to be in general circulation. It was just for him. Again, unfortunately, this one's not in production anymore. I blind bought this, loved it so much, I went back and bought a stack of other bottles, which, yeah, that's kind of what I do, being an addict in this hobby. But this one is a bit of a strange one for me, because when I first blind bought the first bottle and I sprayed it, I was just transported back to my very first day at secondary school, walking into the science lab, and the whole room smelt of this fragrance. I'd never smelt it anywhere before. and I never smelt that smell again since, until I bought this fragrance a couple of years ago and sprayed it, and it was like really strange. But my science teacher, who definitely wasn't beautiful, although this is, used to bathe in this stuff, and that's what the smell, you know, the whole room was full of it. But it's a very warm, spicy fragrance. There's loads of cinnamon in here, and it's got a lot of carnation, and those two notes together, they give spiciness, but a very different type of spiciness. Contrasts really well, and I get a real powderiness from this, and it's almost like a talcum powder type of powder. Definitely amber and vanilla, and I also get a bit of tobacco. But all in all, this one's a love for me. I think it's absolutely superb. Next up, we have this one, and this is Aramis Tuscany per Uomo. I think that's how you pronounce it. I know it means man in Italian, but never know how to pronounce it. But not sure who the perfumer is on this one. It's only one of only two on this list that wasn't created by Bernard Chant. But this one is a superb aromatic fougere. It's similar to Azzaro Pour Homme. It's spicy citrus, lavender, leather, and like Azzaro Pour Homme, and also like Rive Gauche from YSL, this has got a quite prominent anise note in here. This one's also got caraway, which has a sort of sharp sweetness to it, and also maybe a little bit of a medicinal smell. The fragrance as a whole isn't medicinal, but that note just gives that. But this one's a true barbershop style scent, and this one's great value. I think it's around £50 at the moment for 100ml. So that's Tuscany per Uomo. And finally, this is the other fragrance that wasn't produced by Bernard Chant. This one was created by, I believe, Harry Fremont. And this one is called New West for Him. This is very different to all the others. I think this was Aramis's answer to, like in the late 80s and 90s, the new wave of aquatic fragrances like Cool Water and things like that. It's not a blue fragrance, it's green, it's woody and spicy, but mostly piney. Lots of juniper in here, which adds to that sort of aromatic pininess. And this has got a light, airy, salty sea breeze accord running through it. But very, like I said, very different to all of the Chypre style fragrances that the others and sort of fougere type ones. This is a complete departure. So that's the final one. So there you go. That's 6, what I would say are awesome fragrances from, and very affordable, from the House of Aramis. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. For me to continue putting the time and effort into creating these videos, I need your support. So I'll make a deal with you. If you enjoy the content and you want to see more, please like and comment this video. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. And in return for that, I promise I'll bring you more frequent and better content moving forward. But thanks again, and I'll see you all very soon with another video. Cheers.